I just witnessed the all-time playoff choke job by the New York Knicks. And allow me to say that my old friend and ex-partner Stephen A. Smith always ridiculed my Dallas Cowboys as an accident waiting to happen. Want to know the God's truth? The all-time NBA accident waiting to happen has always been the New York Knicks, who haven't won a championship, what is it now? 52 years it's been. 1973 was the last time they won a championship. I know we, the Dallas Cowboys, haven't been back to even an NFC championship game. I can't even get the words out because it stings so much. It rips my guts out to even talk about it since 1996. But this is 1973 we're talking about. And I never liked this Knicks team this year because they just have a choke factor. They just have shaky intangibles. They just have a really weak basketball backbone when it really matters. You just know they're gonna gag. In game one of the conference finals at home at the Mecca of basketball, Madison Square Garden, where now opponents go to star. Opposing superstars can't wait to go to MSG to light it up. And I guess the Pacers couldn't wait to light up the Knicks with 2:50 left in regulation when the Knicks were up 14 freaking points. And foolish me, stupid me, for my FanDuel picks this week, I took my Oklahoma City Thunder to cover. And did they ever cover? They about covered up the grave on the Timberwolves. And then I took the Knicks minus 4.5 to cover at home. And with 2:50 left and they're up 14, I'm thinking, God, I went 2 for 2 this week. Pretty good week. Thank you, New York Knicks. No thank you, Knicks. Tyrese Halliburton was about to be dead right about the New York Knicks. The ultimate accident waiting to happen. Somehow, the reason I'm wearing this hat, they kept leaving my man Aaron Nesmith open to shoot threes in the fourth quarter. He went to Vanderbilt University, my alma mater, went there for 2 years, played the first year, played pretty well. I picked Vanderbilt over Florida, believe it or not. And he turned into a really good player his second year there. Darius Garland got hurt the first year, so he averaged 11 and 6. Then he turned into a lottery pick the second year at Vanderbilt, and Boston took him 14th overall. And this year for the Indiana Pacers, I don't know, maybe Tibbs and his staff, they missed this. But Aaron Nesmith shot a career-high 43% from three this regular season. He starts for the Pacers, and he shot 43%, and he guarded Jalen Brunson all night long, and that's a handful because Jalen Brunson scored 43 points. So I give Jalen Brunson that, but he also had 7 turnovers. And they kept leaving Aaron Nesmith open to shoot threes in the fourth quarter, and he scored 20 points in the fourth quarter alone. Vandy rose and shone. Vanderbilt, the pro pipeline for the NFL and the NBA, took over the game. Aaron Nesmith made 8 of 9 threes, and he keeps making threes, and I'm thinking, my man Nesmith is costing me my pick. I'm thinking, well, surely they can hang on to 4.5 up 14 with 2:50. No, they couldn't, because then Anunoby gags a free throw. And then Karl Anthony Towns, who had a really good game. I complimented him on Twitter after the first half. But he scored 35, and what did he have, I think 14 rebounds. He had a big-time game. Way to go, Cat. Until you make the first free throw and you leave the door slightly ajar, you gag the second free throw. And then Aaron Nesmith makes it's just like one thing after another. And finally it comes down to Tyrese Halliburton. Now, for the shot of the night. Tyrese Halliburton runs into the lane as one to do. You saw him do it against Cleveland. He runs into the lane, runs all the way back out. He thinks to the three-point line, didn't quite get his toe behind the three-point line. Went Kevin Durant on the three-point line, big toe touch, and launches one of those funky looking two-piece threes. I don't know what it is. It goes higher than Lou Dort's threes for my Thunder. And it's long, and it hits the back of the rim. And it's about, once it hits the back of the rim from that high, that hard, and goes that high, it bounced, I don't know, it looked like, I don't know, I'd have to look at the replay, 3 or 4 feet above the backboard on the carom off the back iron. What are the odds it's going to fall straight down into the bucket? I don't know. I'd give it a, a 5% chance maybe? It was the luckiest shot of magnitude. It was the luckiest playoff shot I've seen since Kawhi's. Kawhi's was luckier. Remember when he was a Raptor against the Sixers? Kawhi's was luckier because he shot it from the corner and it hit short on the rim and bounced to the far side and bounced to the front side and bounced to the middle and far side and dropped. I don't know how it did. I've never seen, in all my years, I started covering the NBA out here in Los Angeles in 76. I think it was way pre-Magic. Kareem was here. That's how much basketball I have seen in my life. I live for the NBA playoffs. And I'd never seen a shot luckier than Kawhi's. At that point, I was mad at him because he quit his way out of San Antonio, then made a little stopover in Toronto, won a chip on the way to the Clippers, where he can't rise above the stepchildren of LA, the Clippers. But the point is, he pulled that off. He made me eat crow. He made me eat number 2, if you know what I mean, because that's what I called him. He's number 2 to me, as in, like bathroom number 2. But he made me eat number 2 off that shot. And Tyrese Halliburton thought he had made all of Madison Square Garden eat number 2 because he goes running into the backcourt and gave it the Reggie Miller Memorial choke sign to the Garden like, you choked. Well, they did choke, except he had a toe on the line and he didn't realize it. And it was a 2, not a 3. So it was only overtime. And now the Knicks have a chance to redeem themselves. And they score the first 4 points of overtime. And I think, okay, they've got this under control. Jalen Brunson's not going to let them lose at home. And I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe I could still cover the 4.5. Maybe they still got this in them. And the Knicks, I thought Thibodeau was like a defensive genius. I thought he was a defensive wizard. I thought he cracked the whip on defense. I thought it was all about defense. He was once the Celtics defensive coordinator. They play no defense. I got to tell you, they play no defense on Nesmith. They don't switch. They get caught off picks. I don't know. In somebody over there saying, we got to guard Nesmith. We're going to have to, let's take the ball out of his hands. He's out of his mind. Let's figure out how to focus on Aaron Nesmith and take him out of the game. He scores 20 in the fourth quarter, 8 of 9 threes for the game. And then in overtime, I keep looking up and Josh Hart's getting beat for a layup by Nembhard. And then there's a wide open dunk by Toppin, and I'm like, what? And it was a foul that was uncalled. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? This is it, man. This is to establish supremacy here, to take command of the conference finals that you haven't been to since, when was it? They lucked into one in that lockout year. They had like a 500 record during the season and lucked into that. They're an accident waiting to happen. And the accident happened because they're horrible on defense. Seriously. There were the play after play after play where I'm saying, what are you guys doing? Doesn't anybody know anything? Josh Hart plays hard, and then he plays dumb on defense. He just lets people beat him, and he's looking around at everybody like, what are we doing? I don't know. What are you doing? You just got beat for a layup in overtime. And then Jalen Brunson near the end, he gets caught on a Josh Hart inbounds pass. They got to bring the ball up, and they got a chance still to at least win the game. And Jalen Brunson catches the ball in bounds and loses balance and is going out of bounds. He's going out of bounds and tries to throw it inbounds, I think off, I think it was Neesmith who was guarding him. Must have been, because he was guarding him the whole game. And he tries to throw it off his foot and misses, and the ball bounds up toward midcourt. Anybody's basketball. That could have been it right there. That probably should have been it right there, and he was 1,000% lucky that somehow the ball bounced in the general vicinity of a Knick. And the Knicks still had a chance. And then at the end, they have chances to shoot threes, and Brunson shoots a three. I think it was an air ball. Did it tick iron? It looked like an air ball to me. And then they get the offensive rebound, and it goes back out to Karl Anthony Towns. And I think he shot an air ball. Am I right? It was going so fast. I'm going to have to go back and look at it for my show tomorrow. I will. I'm doing a full show tomorrow morning. Watch for it. It's going to drop like a bomb. And the point is, I think they had two good looks at three and basically airballed both of them at the end of the game. Accidents waiting to happen. I've never seen anything like this before. Your two big guns score 43 and 35. And you blew a 14-point lead. That's Cowboy-esque. Well, you got superstars starring, that's like, oh, Micah did this and CD did this and Dak threw for 400 yards, except 300 of them were in the fourth quarter when you were already down by 40 or whatever against Green Bay in a playoff game. That's Cowboy-esque. But even we don't blow a 14-point lead with 2:50 left in regulation in a playoff game, the equivalent of. We don't do that. We're not that bad. This is just gutless, heartless, loser basketball. This is loser. The ultimate in sports, accident waiting to happen, is the New York freaking Knicks. Stephen A., you know it, and I know it. So you can just eat some number two today, tonight, tomorrow, for all those mornings that you made me eat number two, ridiculing me about my Dallas Cowboys. Eat that, Stephen A.